All right, Shalom. Shalom, giving our praises, our glory, our honors unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 rest of the whole for elect. This is Brother Taiwan from GMS Atlanta. Back with another edifying video, news and prophecy. And I'm going to start off with a scripture. This is the book of Mark, chapter 13, and verse 8. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in divers places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows." So we're living in a time right now that we can see different nations rising up against each other. All right? And kingdom against kingdom. You know, where you have one sovereignty versus another, sending the military and weapons into one region of the world, and you have other nations doing the same, and they're fighting back and forth. That's happening in different fronts. You have what's going on in Israel versus Hamas, right, in Iran. And then you have Russia versus the Ukraine, right? And then you have the U.S. backing up Israel, backing up Ukraine, all right? And you have Iran backing up Hamas, which is backed up by Russia and China. So these particular things are taking place. All you have to do is turn on Fox News, CNN, YouTube, your phone, the trending topics. So this prophecy that Yahushua is speaking on here is taking place now. Okay? It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places." And I've noticed within the last maybe 2 years, there's been major earthquakes in different places, not just in your normal areas around the Ring of Fire, which is from the western coast of the U.S. To out among the different countries that border the Pacific Ocean, such as Australia, New Zealand, the Philippines, Indonesia, Japan. All right, these countries are countries that make up the Ring of Fire, where you have a lot of the volcanic and seismic activity. Okay, so that's the main topic that I want to hit on, is these different earthquakes that are happening. Let me see how's it worded in the NLT. Revelation 13 and 8. Yeah, nation will go to war against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in many parts of the world, as well as famines. But this is only the first of the birth pains, with more to come. So more is coming. Okay? So now, what I have here is this is from over the weekend. This is from the Indian Express. It says, "Japan issues its first ever mega quake advisory." What does it mean? It says the warning said the likelihood of strong shaking and large tsunamis is higher than normal on the Nankai Trough, a subduction zone. So they're warning of a major quake to hit Japan. And last time a major quake hit Japan, you had that major earthquake in 2011. And brothers was, speaking on that. 2010, you had that major earthquake in Haiti. All right. So a lot of things has happened within the last almost 15 years, man, with these earthquakes, and they're getting a lot more devastating, and they're getting a lot more frequent, and that's the point. So it says after a 7.1 magnitude earthquake shook southern Japan on Thursday, August 8th, the country's meteorological agency issued its first ever mega quake advisory. The warning said the likelihood of strong shaking and large tsunamis is higher than normal on the Nankai Trough, a subduction zone, a region where tectonic plates collide with each other. That's why you get earthquakes, because you have one plate with land attached to it like a continent that is the friction of the earth causes, how the earth moves, because the earth does move, it is living. It causes friction, and that friction creates a quake, where the land rumbles. Okay? It says a region where tectonic plates collide with each other and the heavier one slides under another along Japan's southwest Pacific coast. However, this does not mean that a major earthquake would definitely happen during a specific period. The advisory said, they don't know, because they don't know, how to really measure it. But nevertheless, the prophecy and the scriptures say that these quakes will happen. We don't know when quakes are going to happen, but we know what is going to happen. Okay? The trough has produced large earthquakes roughly every 100 to 150 years, according to the 2023 study. High probability of successful occurrence of Nankai megathrust earthquakes, published in the journal Nature. So there's a high probability of successive occurrence. What does that mean? That means frequent. There's a probability that there's going to be a lot more frequent earthquakes happening in that region. Okay? Notably, Thursday's magnitude 7.1 earthquake occurred on or near the Nankai Trough, according to the United States Geological Survey. As a result, experts worry that the next tremor along the trough could be devastating. Okay? And they say that within the next 30 years, there could be over 8 or 9 megaquake in Japan within the next 30 years. And hey man, this system isn't going to last another 30 years. Okay? It says tsunami waves of up to 98 feet may reach Japan's Pacific coast within minutes after the quake. Right? And when you go into the scriptures, okay, let me see here. When you go into, because I can't remember if it's Matthew or Luke. But I'm going to find it here. I'm sorry. Bear me 1 second. I think I thought it was Matthew 24. Let me see here. But there's scripture that says there was, the sea and the waves roaring. Let me see if I can find that scripture. Because you have these quakes, like I said, and then you have these tsunamis or tsunami advisory warnings, or however the government puts it out. Okay, You know what? I'm in the NLT. That's why. But this is it. I found it. Luke 21:25. And there will be strange signs in the sun, moon, and stars. And here on earth, the nations will be in turmoil, perplexed by the roaring seas and strange tides. Yeah, these earthquakes, these tsunamis, these hurricanes. Okay, hurricanes. Verse 26, people will be terrified at what they see coming upon the earth, for the powers in the heavens shall be shaken. All right. Yeah, Luke 21:11 in the NLT. And there will be great earthquakes, and there will be famines and plagues in many lands, and there will be terrifying things and great miraculous signs from heaven. And all of these things are occurring. Okay? All of these signs are occurring. You know, you had signs in the heaven, like you just had this. Now you had this major eclipse back in April. Okay, solar eclipse. Then you had a lunar eclipse. And then you just had recently the Perseid meteor shower, which a lot of these signs. It's not about the signs or that so-called eclipses or certain things happen yearly or annually. It's not about necessarily what happens. It's about when they happen. Okay, or do they happen at an infrequent time? So we had this Perseid meteor shower. Meanwhile, you had these strikes. These threat of strikes from Iran and Israel to each other. All right, you had a second patient get hit. The second patient get installed with the Neuralink. So, things are happening. All right. Things are very much happening. Now, I want to go from that article with Japan to this here. This is from August 12th, yesterday, right? August 12th. Magnitude 4.4 earthquake shakes Los Angeles. So this is not a small earthquake. I don't think it did as much damage, as
you know, as an emerging business.
I'm sorry. It hadn't done as much damage as maybe like a 7.0, even sometimes a 6.0 earthquake, but it did enough to shake those people up over there in LA, in California. So it says a magnitude 4.4 earthquake occurred in Los Angeles at 12:20 p.m. According to the U.S. Geological Survey. The notable quake had an initial reported intensity of 4.7, but has since revised down to 4.4, the agency said. And they go on to the depth of the quake, and which that doesn't really matter. What matters is the damage. But of course they measure on this Richter scale. But now see, here it is. This is a totally different place. All right. Now this is Los Angeles, California, and the other quake was what? Was it in Japan? Which, like I mentioned before, they're all around that ring of fire, that volcanic ring of fire nations, that around their water in the Pacific. So, and then look, you have this here, several Caribbean islands brace for storm, because now you have a new storm. Now you just had Hurricane Debbie, or tropical storm Debbie, run through the islands, kill a couple of people, small number, and then it made its way to the coast. So there's a lot of rain coming through over the last few weeks, few days. And then this hurricane hit. But now, and that was Hurricane Debbie, but now I believe they have a new earthquake that's emerging. I'm sorry, not earthquake, hurricane. Hurricane that's emerging, which is a Hurricane Ernesto. Okay, Ernesto, if I'm correct. But this is what the scriptures say. Okay. Oh, let me go back to the KJV. Okay, KJV. All right, so let me get this last article. This one here, volcano discovery. All right. Strong magnitude 5.2 earthquake. All right. Let me see. Strong magnitude 5.2 earthquake, Pagan region, Northern Mariana Islands on Sunday, August 11th, 2024 at 10:43 p.m. Saipan tide. See, you saw logs, everything. Everything is logged down to the second 2 days ago. All right. It just says strong magnitude 5.2 earthquake at 131 kilometers depth. Magnitude 5.4 earthquake strikes near Agrahan Village, Agrahan Island, Northern Islands, Northern Mariana Islands. So these are diverse places. Okay, diverse places. All right, so this is prophecy being fulfilled. Okay. And this is really it. I just want to speak on these earthquakes that I've seen over the last few days. Different reports or different quakes have been talked about. And, of course, it lines up with the Holy Scriptures. Okay. Matter of fact, Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake, and great noise with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. So, hey, it's all the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So with that, I'll say shalom.